I don't know if, like me, you were transfixed a couple of weeks ago as the Mars rover, the Perseverance, made its final descent towards the red planet. It was an amazing thing that was all live streamed, of course, from the NASA website, and we sat on the edge of our seat as this machine, this technically sophisticated machine the size of a rhino apparently, which travelled 24 million miles to the red planet, was descending towards this new world. It was an amazing piece of technology, and the way it was done was amazing to watch. Part of the descent of the craft that was bringing the rover down to Mars was controlled by a parachute. A parachute that, as we saw on the video, had red and white patches on it. To most of us, that just looked, or at least to me, that pattern looked fairly random. But very quickly, people on the internet figured out that that pattern was far from random. People worked out that the pattern on the parachute for the Mars rover, made up in binary code, computer binary code, spelled out the phrase, "Dare mighty things." Amazing. Dare mighty things. Again, this is a phrase that probably is unfamiliar to most of us, but it turns out that this is the motto of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, the organisation which was in charge of the Mars rover project. So it was a little kind of in-joke by the scientists who were making this whole mission work. Dare mighty things. It's quite an impressive phrase. It got me thinking. The mission pioneer William Carey once said, "Expect great things from God, attempt great things for God." Expect great things from God, attempt great things for God. And as I turned to the Bible, I realised that the whole idea of mighty things, God doing mighty things, is clearly a theme that comes through the Bible. And I turned to Psalm 118. Psalm 118 at verse 16. The Lord's right hand has done mighty things. And then as we turn over later in the psalm, we read in verse 22, the stone the builder rejected has become the cornerstone. The Lord has done this, and it is marvellous in our eyes. That latter phrase, of course, is a phrase that we're familiar with because it's quoted by Jesus himself as referring to him as the Messiah. And it made me realise that we perhaps are not called as followers of Jesus to do mighty things in the way that the people who landed the Mars rover did, but we are all called as followers of Jesus to dare mighty things in God's name, to attempt great things for God, and to expect great things from God. And in this season of Easter, we realise, of course, that at the heart of the Christian message is the fact that God has done great things for us. He has done mighty things for us. The greatest of that, of course, was sending his Son to live and to die and to rise again, to show that he had victory over the grave. So in this Easter season, let's dare mighty things for God.